Oh, Mr. Wesbonk, I think it's time for lunch.
You're right, Muggy. I just want to finish this article. I'll have a sandwich. Fridge, how are you, mate? Good? Okay.
Want to hear a joke?
Oh, a joke? Sure.
What's a loaf of bread's favourite singer?
I don't know.
Bread Sheeran.
Bridge. That's good. Well done.
What about this one?
Oh, another one?
Does,
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you. What does Bread miss most during the lockdown? Seeing their granddad and grandma.
Okay. All right, that'll do now. I'm just going to get some lunch. Oh man, this bread is stale. Yep, definitely stale. Well, I really want a sandwich, but I don't want to have to go to the supermarket. All that hand washing and mask and distancing. No. I know. I want to bake some bread. Mr. Wesbonk wants to. Mr. Wesbonk wants to. Hi guys, I'm still Mr. Wesbonk, which means my name is still heaps weirder than yours. Well, unless your last name is Ramsbottom. In that case, I like you. Welcome to my world. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed last week's lesson and you were pleased with how your cartoon faces turned out. I mean, I was super pleased with seeing some of the results that were shared with me. You guys are getting so good, I thought I'd better try and remain ahead of you. So, I've added a couple of details to Muggy over here. Do you like his moustache? We've got that in common now. And you saw I made a couple of changes to Fridge. But today, my main priority is to bake some bread. I've got this itching curiosity to find out how bread is made. That's the itching curiosity. Let's satisfy it now. Okay, so I know that bread comes from flour, but where does the flour come from? Does it fall out of the sky like dandruff? No, of course not. It comes from the same place that this sort of flour comes from a seed. That's right, I have a seed in my hand. Come a little bit closer. The wheat seed is sometimes called the wheat berry. So then you would take the wheat berry, you'd plant it in some soil, cover that up, add some water, make sure it's getting enough sunlight, and then you would wait a couple of months for it to grow. Wow, well that didn't take long, that only took a couple of seconds. Must be a special type of seed. Am I touching it? Is this? So then you would remove all the grassy, dry, flaky part of the plant and you're left with just the seeds or the wheat berries. So we're basically back to square one, except now we haven't just got one seed, we've got heaps of them and enough to make some flour. So the crushed up seeds look like this, flour. I'm using wholemeal flour, which means they leave the outside of the seed in the flour, and a lot of the healthy stuff is in the outside. So how do I get this flour to become bread? Because, certainly doesn't taste like bread yet. We're going to need the help of some tiny little friends. And when I say tiny, I mean really, 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 really tiny. We're talking about microorganisms. Now, micro means small and organisms means living things. So we're talking about tiny living things. There are 3 main types of them, and they're all around us. So there are fungi, bacteria, and viruses. Now, we've all heard far too much about viruses lately, and they're of no use to us in making bread. So let's get rid of the viruses. Did it go, or is it that side? Anyway, the fungi and the bacteria can stay because they're very useful in making bread. Now, there are different types of bacteria and fungi, and they're not all useful. Some are, kind of nasty. They cause diseases and sicknesses and stuff. And we do wash our hands not just to get rid of viruses, but some types of bacteria and fungi as well. But there are some good guys, and they are very useful for helping to make all sorts of delicious food, including bread, and helping keep us healthy. Now, you can get some fungi into your bread by buying it from the shop in a bottle that's labelled yeast. Yeast is a type of fungi, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to invite some of the fungi and bacteria that are already in this house. All right, so to encourage the friendly bacteria and fungi to come and visit, I'm going to prepare a delicious little meal that they seem to like. which is a cup of the flour I'm going to be using for the bread, and a cup of water to make it all goopy. And then I mix that around. See that? It's kind of like a gloopy paste. Okay, so now I've just got to wait until those friendly bacteria and fungi come and eat up. It can take like at least a day and a night, so. Hi. All right, yes, we have ourselves a starter. All right, so I can't see the bacteria and fungi, but I can see that they have been in there. They've been in there partying it up, eating up whatever fungi and bacteria do. I don't know, but I can see that they've been in there because they've created this big stir. There's all these bubbles. Now, if I have a smell of that, yeah, it smells a lot like ginger beer, that kind of fermented, sort of soury smell, if you've smelt ginger beer before. Or, dare I say it, your dad's beer. So now I'm going to pour that soury slop into the flour, and it's literally going to give more life to the bread. I'm pouring in some water. You've heard of water, eh? I don't need to explain it. Okay, so I'm mixing that around into a dough. Getting some exercise here, making it look like some sort of rock monster. Now it's time to knead the dough, to massage it, to show it that I love it, so that it loves me back and becomes tasty. It's pretty sticky work, so I've got to keep it away from my clothes. But I'm just glad I haven't got any on my face. Now I'm giving it a bit more shape, making it spherical or round. Okay, so I've got to be patient again. I've got to give more time to the bacteria and fungi to, party it up as they do to create those bubbles inside the dough to make it lighter and fluffier and a little bit bigger. I've got to wait for 2 hours. Okay, that's 2 hours up. Now it's time to knead the dough again. So after I've kneaded it some more, I put it into like this little baby basket where it can get all cozy. Now guess what? I have to wait another 2 hours. Man, I'm getting hungry. Finally, 2 hours is up. Okay, it's time to get this into the oven. Okay, I've had the bread baking for 45 minutes now, so it's time to get it out. Yay! I can't really clap with oven mitts. Okay, not bad. A little bit overcooked on the top, but anything I lack in baking skills, I can make up for with cartooning skills. Alright, time to chop it up. I made sure to take that face off first. I don't want to be slicing through a face. Well, thanks to that bacteria and fungi and to my kneading, it's nice and soft in the middle. Okay, after all that, I decided not to have a sandwich, but to toast the bread and to put some scrambled eggs on it. Do you like scrambled eggs? Well, I know I do. Do you mind if I just go off and eat this for a moment? Because it's not a prop, so yeah, just wait. Okay, sorry about that. Is there anything on my teeth? No, good. Well, I have done what I wanted to do today. Is there anything you want to do now? Like me, you might want to experiment with making some foods that use helpful bacteria or fungi. It doesn't have to be bread. It could be bread, or it could be yogurt, it could be ginger beer, it could be something pickled. So that could be fun and very tasty. You might like to find out a bit more about microorganisms. There's heaps more to know. Like, what do they look like under a microscope? Who discovered them? What are they actually doing in the bread that causes all that bubbling up? That would be fun to find out, and you could create a presentation on it. You might want to try different types of bread, different types of grains, experiment with different types of toppings. I'm always looking for different things to put on my bread, so I'd love to see that as well. If you want to practice your drawing techniques from last week, you could press pause on these characters and try them out. anything you do, yes, please share. I would love to see it. And I am looking forward to seeing you next
Hey,
week.
can I finish with a joke?
Well, we're just wrapping up now.
What's Fungy's favourite song?
Okay, go ahead.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Yeast.
Okay. Guys, when you create a character, just be careful what sort of character you design.